Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back. Today, we're going to get ready together, shock, but I want to talk about beauty budgeting. It's been a while since we touched on that, and I've mentioned in a couple of videos that there's some changes occurring. So, I will not be talking products. These are going to be kind of tried and true. I do have just these two products that are newer to me, which is the Beautypie Contour, the Live Tinted Hue Brow, and then I picked up this Loreal Liquid Lip Balm, so we'll try that out today. But I hope you're all doing well and you're ready to get into some budget conversations, and let's dive in. So, I really hope that Frank behaves. He's been a full gremlin the last 48 hours. And I'm dealing with a problem that I never deal with, which is too much sun. Can you believe? In Pittsburgh, no less. Crazy. But I'm getting ready. We're going to be filming another video after this. But I want to talk about beauty budgeting. We have mentioned a few things on my channel, how I like to budget kind of like quarterly almost, or not even budget, but like plan out purchases quarterly because one, expiration dates on beauty products. Two, I do like to switch the colors that I'm using and things according to the season that we're in. And then also with skincare and body care, but I like to buy heavier, more moisturizing things in the winter and then more lightweight things in the summer as my skin changes. So I just find it easy to break it up into seasons. I do have an entire playlist dedicated to this specific conversation, and I will list that in the description box below. But we need to have a hard reckoning. And there's going to be another video that ties into this, which is my recap of fashion. Frank just picked up a toy. Oh, please. Anyways, what I was saying was, I don't even know. I'm on a no-buy. Let's start there. And I mistakenly thought that it was mid-January when I was filming the last or a previous Get Ready With Me where I was like, no more until middle of February. But the reality is, not just in makeup, but in life right now, I'm going to do a no-spend February. And there's a reason behind that. And that reason is a culmination of things I bought last year, but most importantly, the clothing that I bought during pretty much the Black Friday sales until after Christmas sales. I really went in on athleisure with a couple of more like fashion items. And again, we'll get into detail in another video where I recap fashion for 2022. But that said, I spent all my monies, honey, you know? I know that I typically spend more in the fall, winter. It's just the colors I like better. I love the clothing in those seasons, and it requires more where I live just because the weather is so drastic compared to spring and summer. Like, yes, it gets hot, but you strip back really, pun intended. Whereas in the winter here, you have to have protective clothing, including boots and things like that. So pricier items for me happen in the fall and winter, and then this year I really did an overhaul. Anyway, we're not getting into that. I spent a lot of money. That's what I'm saying. Then, to top things off, I feel like starting my channel last year, I knew that I wasn't going to be a review channel because I just didn't want to chase down every single new item that applied to me. I like to be conscious about what I bring into my collection, and last year I really got caught up in, I want to review this for my channel, when it wasn't necessarily something that I 100% wanted to bring into my collection. Like, I overdid it on duochromes. Some of those I absolutely love, but not all of them, and I should have started out slower. But I have this habit of like, once I love something, I need to know everything about the brand or everything about the formula. And I do that in clothing too. As soon as I fall in love with a brand, I feel like I need expansive knowledge on the brand or the product line or whatever. It's just, I'm a 0 to 100 person, you know, like it's either nothing or it's all. And that can be very negative in some senses. It can also be really great because when I am interested in something, I I really like to dive deep and learn as much as I can. So pros and cons. But I'll even use the example as like the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. In theory, that is something that I would love because I love blurring products. But the reality is I should have waited and learned more about the product before pulling the trigger rather than saying this would be a great review for my channel, because I ended up not even doing a dedicated review because it didn't work for me. Like, we tried it out in the one video and I do think it does what it says, but I think especially the colored balms for me are not for someone with as dehydrated or dry of skin. And then I also went deep on Give Me Glow, and I ended up never making that video because it was so hit or miss and I just wasn't excited about it, and it's just sitting here. And those were things that I necessarily wouldn't have bought had it not been for me starting my channel, and that's not remaining true to who I am. And I really want to try to keep myself from that pitfall, especially this year. And for right now, until I kind of catch back up with having a nice kind of safety net for fun things, I can't buy makeup. And that kind of leads into skincare and body care. I have so much that I need to use up in that space specifically that it makes no sense for me to buy anything unless I've completely run out of body wash and I need body wash. Example like that. So that's what's going to be going on my channel. And I hope that that's okay. I know that a lot of people really do enjoy kind of like no-buy channels and content, and I don't know how I'm going to approach this. I don't know that it's something that I need to like focus on because I have a lot of those music video looks that I want to do. There's a lot more fashion content coming, but it's not going to be hauls. And I'm just going to have to sit with that and think about how I want to make that content without having to go out and buy anything net new. Because I really do want to save up, like I've been saying, for some equipment that's going to increase the quality of my channel tenfold. But it's hard. There's a lot of new releases that are like right up my alley that I think would be perfect for my collection. However, we're not going to do it until we run out of things. And beauty-wise specifically, I don't see that happening anytime soon, you know? And I'm curious, are you guys falling into the same thought process? Or honestly, let's talk about this. I feel like it's become very trendy to, like, this is from my stint on TikTok while I was down for the count. It's been very trendy to like declutter. I'm like not showing you at all. To declutter, and also from a makeup standpoint, like this whole de-influencing trend is like, makes no sense to me, and I'll gladly explain why. When they are de-influencing, most of them are just telling you what products are like not good, which is not new. And that's like the whole conversation. A lot of what goes on TikTok's like not net new. It's just phrased differently for a new generation, which is totally fine. I mean, that's the cycle of it all. But when they're telling you what's not good, they're still influencing you to not buy a product. It's just, I feel like Kaki would love this conversation because vocabulary, you know? Anyway, the other side of this de-influencing trend, a lot of it is like decluttering, which that's a whole topic we'll get into in just a minute. But also, I don't see a lot of them actually doing what they're trying to accomplish, which is like, be happy with what you have. And if you've made purchases that don't make sense like I do, you just have to live with that for a little while. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to go ahead and, I'm going to put some lip balm on. You don't have to do a massive declutter right away. I think decluttering is very important, and it's a huge trend on TikTok to do like house declutters, which my husband and I were already doing, but recently, in light of wanting to spend less money, we're focusing on decluttering right now rather than starting up house projects, because we can't really start a lot of the house projects or know what kind of furniture we need now at this point until we have a really solid idea of all of the stuff that we need to like store or organize, etc. So we are going to be doing that, but strictly from like a beauty perspective, I'm going to sit with what I have, come up with very finalized thoughts about it, and we'll talk about the things that maybe I jumped on that didn't fit my collection, all of that good stuff. We already do product fails here. I love those. I think they're very helpful. Not because I'm telling you this is garbage, don't buy it, but I'm telling you why it didn't work for me, because a lot of you have commented that we're either like complexion twins or skin type twins, and I'm hoping that it gives you enough information to make your own informed decision. Because, you know, some things work for some don't, and that's just the name of the game. And I'm not faulting TikTok. I love some of this content. I just think it's funny to me when they're like, I'm de-influencing. You're still influencing. It's just not selling. It's just influencing or persuading someone not to buy in T ways. I do need to sit with some of the stuff in my collection. I'm also so backlogged on video ideas that have nothing to do with buying new products that I'm like, what am I even worried about? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. It's very easy to get swept up into some of this, and that's why I wanted to sit down and make this video, because I get it. I totally get it. I think I need to let that dry for a minute. I have so much that I want to talk about that we can dive into that I haven't gotten to. So all those backlogged video ideas, they're coming. Today is going to be kind of like a filmapalooza for me to get some of those caught up. And then if you don't see the one that you've been wanting, please fill out one of the forms in the link down below. Although, let's chat about that. I think I'm going to be decommissioning the vote for what's prepped, just because it changes so much and I can't update the responses. So it's still showing old responses on things that are no longer an option. And it really messes with the weight of votes and all of that. So I think I am going to take that one down, and we're just going to focus on that free form field. So please, if you've heard me talk about something that you're interested in me doing a video on, or you have something in mind that would be good, let me know. I mentioned before, definitely bringing back some fashion content. We're definitely reigniting beauty strategy, because that was one of the biggest, not initiatives, but one of the biggest topics that I wanted on my channel, because I think that's so important. The conversation around self-care is so ambiguous at times, and it's gotten so blown up in marketing and media that it can leave you in a headspin. And I want to show how I use beauty and hygiene and all of that for my self-care, because that's kind of like the root of what self-care is. It's just anything that takes care of yourself. It could be getting enough water a day. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a 2-hour-long home spa thing, even though that's really nice too, you know? But I do rich lady showers that take like 10-20 minutes, you know? It doesn't have to be some grand gesture to yourself. It just needs to be kind of maintenance of you. And we're going to get into all of that. But let's talk about ways that I am going to curtail any, what's the word? How I'm going to curtail any impulses to spend right now. I really hope that his chewing is not real crazy, but I can't deny him of his happiness, especially when he's about to be trapped in a room with me while I film for a couple hours. Oh, we'll take play breaks, but you know what I mean. I'm not going to like ruin his day. Poor Frank. Anyway, what I'm doing to keep myself from spending specifically on makeup. 1, I'm going to spend dedicated time to my current collection. Even in the past Get Ready With Me's, some of the looks have been very similar, but what I've really been trying to do is pick up the things that I might have stopped using as much as I had been using before. And honestly, it's been great. I've gotten to rediscover foundations, powders, lip products, and it's been a really nice little refresh to how I do my makeup, because a lot of these products, I get stuck with doing the same thing because it's the same look and the same technique. And I really like being kind of brought out of that sometimes to maybe do something a little bit different, tweak it. I love playing with looks, especially as kind of like almost therapy to myself. I love playing with different looks and letting things inspire me that I already own, and also taking my inspiration maybe from like a music video and using what I had. Perfect example is that JLo video, and I couldn't find my black eyeliner and I used purple, and guess what? Worked out great. So I don't need anything. So spending time with my collection and rediscovering things is going to be one. The second is going to be, I'm going to be keeping my makeup wish list, which I have a video all about how I kind of keep tabs on my wish list, and maybe we'll go through those together and you'll get to see kind of during this no buy for however long it is, definitely at least the month of February. You'll get to see what lives on through that time period on my wish list, because every time I go through and look at it, especially when I see something new that I like and I add to it, I'll just quickly scroll through and be like, this is a similar product that seems way better than this other one, so I'll take it off. Or if I'm in the mood to shop, sometimes I'll just go look at my wish list, honestly, and remind myself of the things that I'm holding out for and make sure that that list really upholds to that and they are things that I want to hold out for. So that's another thing that I will do, and I will definitely bring you guys along that journey if you would like to see that. And then the other thing that I do to keep myself on a budget or on plan is, I haven't done a wing in a minute, y'all. This could go south really fast, but we shall see. Is I have found that the past few months, especially in the evenings when I haven't been able to go to bed right away, I will sit in my office chair and either scroll social media, which like there's a lot we could say about that. But social media really has become like this huge platform of just advertising everywhere. And there are plenty of accounts that are not like that, and that's great. But even when you're trying to stay focused on those accounts, you're going to come across ads, all of that good stuff. Whether it's like an actual ad or someone selling you something, even if it's not sponsored. Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing that I've been doing. But the second thing I've been doing is shopping. Just like hours of shopping, trying to find perfect this, perfect that, or just seeing like what's new at Ulta, what's new at Sephora. And I don't always hit checkout. Do you know what I mean? Like I have restraint. But instead of doing that, what I've been doing, and aligns with like some of the goals that I've had, is reading. There is a lot that I want to learn about lunar cycles, astrology, spirituality, trauma healing, anxiety, things like that. And I always tell myself I don't have time to read, but then I'm just sitting there shopping and scrolling. And that's the perfect time. And it helps me slip into sleep a lot better than scrolling on my phone. I'm sure you're all like, duh, Rachel, but like I'm really holding myself to it. And it is kind of coming out of necessity of needing to kind of rein in my budget. And I've loved it. I also do read for entertainment, but last year I had set a goal for myself, like 2 books a month, so a total of 24 books. I think I got half of that. So I read like essentially 1 book a month, which is totally fine. That's like that's a pretty good amount, but I know I'm capable of more because I am a pretty fast reader. And I think a lot of the reason why my numbers were down is because I had stepped away from nonfiction at the advisement in therapy, and I think it really did help, and it reignited my love of reading and getting back into the habit of reading. But this year I really want to kind of do both, like keep up the fiction, especially to kind of like take a break in between more heavy or dense nonfiction. But I'm back on my nonfiction stuff. Do you know what I mean? And there are a lot of really popular nonfiction titles that are on Kindle Unlimited, which I hadn't been taking advantage of. So I have one on Kindle Unlimited I've started, 2 other nonfictions that I've started, one being the Martha Stewart Handbook, which is like freaking massive, but I'm so excited. Like that's another thing that I want to learn about, is because we're really trying to make this house like a home, because the other places we lived together, my husband and I, we never stayed long enough to like fully finish it or like agree that we would invest in furniture and things, because we knew the space we weren't going to be in a long time, and we are in a place that we both see ourselves being in for a very long time. So I started that book, and then I need to start the new book club book. So I can't wait to read. And if you don't have books at the ready for you to do this with, the library is a free resource. I will probably be going to the library once I finish my stack of books, but that was another thing that I kind of overdid last year in preparation of hopefully reading all of the time. And I ended up not reading them. So now I have a big stack of books that I'm going to read. I'm praying the last 2 clips made it, but I have a big stack of books that are ready to read. I need to read. I will be reading. So yeah, swap books with your friends too. Like I think that I actually might be doing that, especially with the girls that are in my little book club. All right. This does have almost like a soapy perfume scent. I really wish it was fruity. L'Oreal, just do vanilla or fruity, you know? It's not super strong, but it's there. This doe foot's very interesting. Oh, it feels nice. This doe foot's like a figure 8. Very interesting. I like it. I also like how this feels. And honestly, as far as like drugstore packaging goes, once I take the sticker off, this is such a chic package. Let me know your favorite chic packaging and good performing drugstore options, because it's not that I'm against the drugstore. Most of my collection is like mid-level, and then some luxury. Like I would consider Well People mid-level. Lip Tinted is kind of mid-level. Rare Beauty mid-level. Same with Phytosurgence, like just a smidge above drugstore, but not quite luxury. But then I do have luxury products that I use, and I love them so much. But I think that you can still get a luxurious feel. You can smell it a little bit. I wish it was vanilla, but it's very beautiful. That color is fabulous, which is 30 Pristine Pink. I'm testing out, I got a couple. So, okay, before we wrap this video up, I am officially, as of yesterday, which was the 2nd of February, on a no-buy. Previous to that, I picked up a couple drugstore lip glosses because I am trying to find the perfect 2000s pink nude. That's like kind of beiged out, but not, it has pink, you know? Also, if you can help me on that, greatly appreciated. It'll go on my wish list. I will tell you that Boy Bait in the early to mid 2000s was like my go-to, and I swear they have changed the color. It's like more peachy now. But yeah, let me know. But I did pick up a couple of drugstore lip glosses, a drugstore eyeshadow palette that I'm really excited to test out. And then last is the Shine by SD Causemetics and Seeking Shifts collab. That will be coming probably late this month, because I accidentally pre-ordered one, and I'm so sad because I cannot wait to get my hands on those. And I think that will satiate my beauty desires for a while, at least for this month. So I did purchase those. Those will be coming new, but nothing else except for repurchases, which I don't foresee happening outside of body wash in this month. So I don't need you to hold me accountable, but I'm just sharing that with you because 1, I'm setting expectations for the type of content you'll see on my channel. And 2, yeah, you can hold me accountable, call me out, because I'm doing this. I'm doing this. But anyway, I like this face of makeup. It is very me. I haven't done a strong wing on my channel in quite some time. Very excited to film the next video. I hope that you're doing well. Let me know if you're on a no buy, a low buy, or just budgeting. Let me know if you're thinking of doing the seasonal budgets that I do. And also, let me know what kind of content you're the most excited for. I will share. We've got some good stuff coming up. But I hope you're doing well, enjoying the sunshine. Can't believe I'm fighting too much sunshine. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.